Welcome to the Content Hacking Show. So let me ask you then, you spoke earlier before about how to use press coverage to increase sales. And you sort of make it very clear that unto itself, it's best used for credibility. Mm-hmm. Let's drill into some of the more unique and creative and useful ways to use media mentions to directly increase sales.
Okay. All right. Well, I would suggest at a bare minimum, on your homepage of your website, you have as seen here, there, and wherever. And here, what you do is you take the logos of the mastheads and you put them in.
We're on the website. Let me jump in.
Homepage. Make sure it's on the homepage. You can then have sort of a media page and go into more depth. But when someone's jumping on the homepage, that's their first impression of your company. So why hide that bit of credibility, 6 pages in? It should be first and foremost one of the first things they see. Because if they're...
Yeah, this is exactly where you and I agree.
Yeah.
This is a little bugbear for me because a particular company will have the media mentions.
Yeah.
It's buried.
Yeah, way down. It's like...
What are you doing? It should be the header.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you've never heard of the company, so if they haven't been referred to you or anything, you're just doing a Google search, they start off with minus 100 points of credibility. So if you jump onto their page and there's all this, as seen in all these mass media outlets, that minus 100 goes to plus 100 in like a millisecond. Mm. So if you've got it, why on earth wouldn't you use it? So that's first and foremost, I'd say. Secondly, yes, definitely putting it through your social media channels. Today I was interviewed on the Today Show. Check out the interview and you can repost that, months down the track as well. Then I would say things like putting it into your marketing collateral. So if you have a brochure or credentials pack or whatever you've got that you might send potential clients after having your initial chat with them, make sure you put the media mentions in there. Again, as seen here, there, or whatever, or actually the full form of some of the articles that have been written where they've interviewed you. So that's another one. The other one is on your email, in your email signatures, that email signature represents your personal brand at the end of the day. And that's why you've got a signature there with your contact details, and some people have a little image or whatever. Make it a standard thing to say as seen in, then that goes out into every single email that you write, again, giving you that credibility. And then things like if you exhibit at a trade fair or an expo, what I suggest to clients is actually what one client did, which was fantastic. He was on the front page of the Money news section in the Sunday Age. He's from Melbourne. So it was a big photo of himself on the front cover. So he blew up one of the panels of his actual exhibition area was that full page in the newspaper. And it was a real talking point, it stood out, really well. People came up, they looked at it, they were like, oh, what's that about? So, that's taking it to the extreme, but it was absolutely brilliant. But at a bare minimum, at least have a screen there, a rather large screen flicking through all the media that you've been in, or even having some of the articles laminated that people can just, as they're looking around your stand and you're chatting to them, they can just pick it up and read it. And even if they don't read it, just seeing that you've been in that publication, already the credibility is increased, the perception of your brand.
Yeah.
So they're just a few things that you can do to just use it on a day-to-day basis to turn, I'm not sure, into a conversion because they've now got the trust factor.
Yeah, you're 100% on the money. So I've got a couple of interesting stories here. So in 2003, and right now it's 2018, so 15 years ago, Warren Buffett sent me a letter. I have been showing people that for... And to this day, it is front and center. It's on my LinkedIn. You can read it.
Yes.
It's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always just cross out the 3 and change it.
I've left it in there. I've had one person comment, hey, douchebag, that happened a long time ago. I go, Ed.
Doesn't matter. It means that 15 years ago, you're already in
So that's one example. Another example is we have a client. This one's a classic. He's the biggest producer in the world of his particular type of marketing collateral. And he has literally worked with the vast majority of the Fortune 500. Okay, the vast majority. So if you go to his LinkedIn, guess what you don't see?
All
Fortune
those
500.
Oh no!
Not one.
Wow.
I said, hey, buddy. I'm not gonna say his name, but hey, buddy, we need to do something about your LinkedIn. It's really simple. Let's just work through the Fortune 500 lists.
Yeah.
And put them at the top. So we've got in his headline, work with X number of the Fortune 500. So we've got that in his headline. And then right below in the LinkedIn description, we're just one after the other. It's, Microsoft, Apple. It's just the easiest LinkedIn profile to craft in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Because we just name dropped
Yeah.
all the different brands.
Wow. Yeah.
Instantly you can see,
Yeah.
my God. And now we can back up the claim, the world's leader in the name of his. And it's true because no one else has his list of clients.
Yeah.
We have another client, same scenario. We helped her with her LinkedIn profile, and which we don't normally do, but we need it for this client. And I asked her, I said, so Emma, what's going on with your LinkedIn? Why is there nothing here? I said, I haven't done anything. Really? So after probing, she's been on ABC Radio. She's been the guest presenter twice at her industry's most prolific industry conference. She's been on TV. She's all sorts of awards. The list goes on. And I said, we have to get that front and center.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so very powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Other ways we've used Proof for clients is getting it into their advertising.
Yeah.
It's such an easy win, like getting into Facebook ads.
Yeah.
It instantly, you're right. You go from minus 100 to plus 100 like that.
Yes. Just
transforms.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Truly it does.
And most people just don't take the time to think about, or they're just not confident enough or something. They to think about, all right, what have I got that I can use to increase that credibility?
I think that's what it is. They get, from my experience, they get too close to their own story and don't realize the value. And that's easy to do. We both know that. Yeah, it's obvious. Like your content is probably boring to you. My content is boring to me. But I know to those who've never heard it before, it's pretty special. Yeah. You go.
Yeah. Well, actually, on that, quite often, when I'm speaking to a potential client, they'll say to me, "But do I really have anything to say? Like, is any of this stuff interesting?" And I just always say to them, you're surrounded by it day in, day out. So to you, it might not sound that interesting, but to an outsider who has, one, no idea, but two, wants the knowledge, yes, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's true. And this is something that we need to constantly remind ourselves. In our heads, we've heard the story a million times.
Yeah.
But no one else has heard it a million times.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to escape from that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and I think the second reason I found why most companies are reluctant to use the media coverage they've had, is they're embarrassed. They're like, this is bragging? Are you sure we should do this? And don't, especially Aussies, where we have a thing about that. It seems. Okay, no, you're not bragging about yourself. It's the media that's doing the bragging for you. That's okay, totally.
And you're giving value. So through what you're saying in your interviews and whatever, you're actually helping people. You're distilling information that other people want to know about. And the media is just a very powerful tool that's amplifying that. So I try and change people's mindsets around from, it's not about tooting your horn. It's actually about being able to magnify your message and your expertise so that you can help more people.
I agree. Welcome to the Content Hacking Show.